This is Algebra 1, Lesson 20. So, whenever it just says build, we don't use the blocks. So unless you're someone that likes to watch the videos from Matthew C. and use the math manipulators, you don't have to do them when they just say build. Okay? Now, these that say build and add, we don't need to build them because we're not using the blocks, but you should be able to add these. And this is nothing new. These three should be review. Remember, you can only add like terms, so just add straight down. Just a minute, I'm going to angle, see if this helps my lighting just a little bit. Okay, but when you add this straight down, I don't think that helped at all. Notice you're going to get x squared plus 3x squared. So when you add those together, you're going to get 4x squared. Here you've got a negative 6x plus 7x. Well, think, negative 6 plus 7 is 1. So you have a 1x. And then 3 minus 9 is a negative 6. So that's all you're doing is just adding like terms. So we'll do one more. Here you have a 1x squared plus a 1x squared, which is 2x squared. There's nothing there. Plus 6x is 6x. Negative 8 plus a negative 7 is a negative 15. So that's it. Okay, pretty simple there. Remember, when you add, you can only add like terms, and your exponents don't change. Okay, and the reason I'm saying that is because you need to always be sure you know the difference between x plus x and x times x. Okay, you can add like terms. X plus x is 2x, but x times x, remember when you multiply, you add your exponents, so this would be x squared. So be real careful with that. Okay, so let me try this. 3x plus 4x. Let's compare that to 3x times 4x, okay? You can only add these together because they're like terms, but if you have 3x's and 4x's, you get 7x. When you multiply, you can multiply anything together, but remember what you do here, this would give you 3 times 4, that would give you 12. X times x is x squared. Okay, so that was a little review so that you know the difference between adding and multiplying, your variables. Okay, here's really your new stuff today. This says build a rectangle and find the area. Okay, area means product. Basically, we're just going to be multiplying this together. Just a minute, I'm going to yell at my dog. Carly! You stop that. So professional. Okay, don't worry about this, and again, unless you're using the math blocks with Matthew C. I mainly just want you to learn how to multiply this out. So what you're going to do, there is the FOIL method, which let me teach you that. I'm going to stand up again. I just don't like my lighting here. The FOIL method, this F stands for first, and then you got O stands for outer, and then inner, and then the last. Okay, what it's saying is here are your first two terms, and it wants you to multiply those two together. You're going to take this x, and you're going to basically multiply it times everything over here. So x times x is x squared. And then you're going to do this first term times the last term. Notice it says the outer terms. These are your outside terms. X times 2, lovely dogs, is 2x. Then it wants you to multiply your inner terms. So you're going to multiply these right here. 1 times x is 1x. And then the last terms right here. The 1 times 2 is 2. Now, that's it. Notice these are usually like terms, so you're going to get x squared. 2x plus 1x is 3x plus 2. Okay, let's try another one here. Okay, so what do? You're going to take this x and you're going to multiply it times everything over here. So I'm going to first do x times x, that's x squared. I'm going to do the x times 3, which is 3x. Then I'm going to do these little inside terms. 4 times x is 4x. And then the last terms, 4 times 3 is 12. Okay. One thing, I see a happy man here. See his little smiley face? This is his little nose and his eyebrows. You can think about it that way. But 3x plus 4x is 7x plus 12. Okay. I'm going to flip because I want to do one that's just a little different. Okay. Here, you can do it... honestly, this is if you do it like the Matthew C method. I would probably rewrite this as 5x plus 5 times x plus 2. Because this is the way you're going to typically see it. You do this the same way than what we just did. You're going to take this first term, 5x, and multiply it times everything over here. So you're going to do 5x times x. You're going to do 5x times 2. You're going to do your inside terms, 5 times x. And then your last terms, 5 times 2 is 10. Not always, but usually those are alike, so add them together. 10x plus 5x is 15x plus 10. Okay, that's simple. You're going to practice this, you want to get really good at it. All right, I'm going to go way down here to number 18, and the reason being is we finally, thank goodness, we have a negative sign in there. So again, I'm going to rewrite this 3x plus 5 in parentheses times 3x minus 1. Okay, so once again, I'm going to take this 3x, I'm going to multiply it times everything over here. So in the first terms, 3x times 3x, we'll think 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared. Do your outside terms right there. 3x, now this isn't just a 1, it's a negative 1. So 3x times a negative 1 is negative 3x. When you do your inside terms, 5 times 3x, you're going to get 15x. And then your last terms, again, that's not 5 times 1, it's 5 times a negative 1, which is a negative 5. So be real careful right there. When you add these terms, it's a negative 3x plus 15x, which is a positive 12x minus 5. And that right there is your answer.